The other thing I want to bring up, don't dismiss college towns and areas around it. If you have a product, especially if you have a product that is a good price point, because college kids, money's tight. You got a product that is a good price point and that can easily relate to a lot of different people. Think again, simple, scalable, and wholesome. Get it to the college towns. Get it working in the areas that they hang out. They'll pay for it if it's a good price. They'll see it as a low ticket item for them to treat themselves. And I've talked about this before, how lucrative it is when you take an item that is well known in a particular area. And I don't know if there's there's a term for this, but you take an item that's really popular in one area and you bring it to another area. So it's like, Italian ice, perfect example, the industry that we're in. Or it could be something like a New York cheesecake or a New York bagel or a Chicago pizza. So, a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Someone in Texas opens up a Philadelphia cheesesteak or something like that. Taking a staple from that area, bringing it to a new area. And this model has been done so many times and people see it explode. But the reason I brought that up, because the beauty of dealing with like a college town or like a university type area, you might have a lot of transplants. You may have a lot of out-of-towners. And the beauty of a staple item like that is you have a lot of people who can get a little taste of home. You have people, we watched the Chef show, and, it's based off of the Chef movie. And in one of the episodes, he says, what keeps food alive is just the tradition of it. If you had a certain food when you were a kid, that stays with you. And that person, they will always seek out that particular food. When they have a taste for that, they will seek it out. And that's what keeps the industry alive. And I just thought that was just so impactful, because if you're able to find something that's like a hometown staple and bring it to an area where people know they can't get it in a certain radius, and specifically if you target like communities where people already don't want to travel a lot, college towns, people like having everything centralized. Maybe there's a little bus or a little circulator or something. Some people drive, but everybody kind of stays within a certain area. People got to go to classes. People have things to do. They kind of stay within a certain area. If you take that same idea and you think about like maybe a full service apartment complex or townhomes, when you think about like a senior center or a retirement home, these are people who are kind of in one area. They don't want to do a lot of traveling. So if you layer it and give them something that, number one, they already aren't going too far away from their house, but if you give them something that they aren't going to find within a 10-mile radius, you can almost guarantee that when you're there, they will buy from you. They may even seek you out. So if they know that you're going to be at 3 different events that are right around the corner from them, they're there. And then if they're already in the community and they're already going to the concerts and the events anyway, and you're giving them a staple that reminds them of home, this is how you start building that base. So I just wanted to point that out. College towns, smaller communities, townhome communities, retirement communities. Really think about those, because if you can get in good and you can build some good relationships, remember, as this goes on, you want to work smarter, not harder. And coming from the world of events, I got out of events for a reason. Sometimes the nonstop, the anxiety, the always preparing, sometimes that can really be lessened if you have the same people all the time, the same events. Hey, they're going to order this, and it just helps things go a little smoother. So you can have some events that are sporadic that you take here and there, but try to line up your calendar. Try to start building some relationships so you have certain places where you just automatically go. Start trying to build that in. Build that in now. It'll make your life so much easier in the long run. And just another little tidbit, if you are thinking about transitioning into something a little more wholesale, which is what we want to do, those relationships become very, very vital because there's a very strategic way to turn those into wholesale relationships. Very, very easy. We'll talk about that in another video. All right, guys, until then.